You cannot be against all the other teams that are giving like the chamber here, the double duelist, this and that, and you're like, yeah, it's.
No, I agree.
Oh, they heard you and they said,
I could stand the content game.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not interested in the content. They want a clean closeout.
They do, and this could actually be a clean closeout, and this probably be one of the first times where Fnatic get denied that first seed. They so often they're always seed 1 going into playoffs, and also delaying their champions qualification.
Fnatic was right.
Paddy's always right.
Yeah.
Well, he's sometimes right. He's sometimes right. Yeah. He's sometimes right. I want to shout out Crashies on this map though. I think he's the unsung hero.
Absolutely, and his utility is almost flawless. Like he gets so many kills. He's so effective with the shock darts. He always gets the timing right. He's very, very good. And going up against Drex on the other side, probably another one of the unsung heroes. But we were speaking about him, we were speaking about Fnatic, and especially with the information that he gets with the knife, knowing that you're playing against a Euro and against the chamber. Most importantly, believe it or not, with Chronicle on the device, you need to spot what setup Fnatic are doing for you to have a good read. Watch out for tree, please. Fnatic do it time and time again. Fnatic, you need to play with Nats on A.
And I want to see how Fnatic answers to this, because they know that they have a KO as well.
Yeah.
I want them to have a second layer. I don't want them to just rely on Alpha being able to get a pick TP out and then hit aside.
Watch Alpha just do it every single time.
But with a knife there, he can't TP out. So I need them to give him some support. I want a second layer because I think other teams are starting to figure out what they do on Ascent.
Yeah, a lot of teams are copying it as well, but this we're going to have to see if the OG is in fact the best, or if Team Liquid have figured out exactly how to shut Alpha down as we get ready for map 2. It's Ascent. Casters, take it away.
Moving on to Ascent, it's time to see if Fnatic can rise to the occasion, or if they'll be left in the dust as Team Liquid look to take this series 2-0. An impressive resurgence on their own map pick to get back in there in overtime. They were 12-9 down. It looked like Fnatic had everything figured out, but they came crumbling down in the end and couldn't get off that 12 mark.
Yeah,
Gentlemates.
All right, that's toxic. But either way, we're going to be getting into, a map that I think the Fnatic are going to be coming in fairly confident. We haven't seen it anywhere near as much coming out of this side of Team Liquid. And I do say, like, I like their old composition that they used to run with, like, the Teo deadlock at least a little bit more. Obviously, the Teo has since been nerfed, and it's not quite the same thing that they're running, so they've gone back to the old faithful. But I also do wonder if that's just based off the personnel they now have. Like, you have someone like Trex, who is such a competent Sova player. Why not lean into something you know will work?
Well, this is a heavy share of 5 for Team Liquid, 4 of them in play, and already one's drawn blood. Camo pushing up on mid as well, but the short player's been isolated. The knife is out!
Okay, it was stopped. It was stopped.
It would have been the knife kill, but Camo stole it away. That was a hell of a decision for Nats. I suppose stand there and die was the other alternative. This Chronicle's now going to be left alone, and again, those Sheriffs still in the round. That is going to be difficult to play against, and Nats is the one to claim that final kill. 1-0 start for Team Liquid. And we had it yesterday where Neilzinho was commenting on the 2 Sheriff buy playing together on the attack side, how strong that can be. But the 4 Sheriffs in a frenzy blitz into mid, that is a different flavor entirely. Oh, wow. Different flavor entirely.
Well, bear in mind as well that Nats was the one who not only took the first fight, but was also dancing around playing with a knife. And he still manages to come out alive and with a couple of kills. A huge confidence starter for Liquid over on this defense. Squad that definitely has the depth of talent to make a map like Ascent work. I think Camo's definitely going to have to be a big part of that. Kicking things off on the defense as well, it's always going to be a good opportunity, especially with this comp, to really build up those rounds.
Fnatic have that head hunter on Alpha, but so far it hasn't found its prey. Although someone is a little closer than expected. Boaster thread the needle. He's caught Nats off guard. That head-to-head looking a little bit better for him now. And we're back to a 4v4. That could have been the kill for Trex, but that smoke came on just in time. The Spectre recovered, spraying through the smoke, dealing damage for Fnatic. They may be able to find a numbers advantage against Camo, but it's the Outlaw they're running into. Gotta hope the Headhunter finds value.
Oh. That's about as free as a kill you're ever going to get, and I expect that maybe you'll get the reload. Althea could find Trex here. Ooh, okay, he gets the job done in the end, but most of those bullets are gone. Kiko, a bit of an unorthodox position. I don't know if anybody's going to be expecting him just to be sat on the edge. They definitely will now. And Crashies with a right click has managed to make it work. Even still, though, there are a couple of players that they have to deal with. Time ticking against them, but they will get the plant. Unfortunately, already one is down, and Fnatic does an excellent job of recovering a very dangerous scenario.
A valiant effort from Fnatic. If they force spot here, you'd still come out going, well, that was pretty close. It was a good, a risk worth taking. But for them to replicate what happened to start out fine, unfortunately, isn't possible this time around. Classic's finding a lot of value. Chronicle obviously going down isn't ideal. It's this fight here that was very risky indeed. Fnatic cleaning up, keeping them in a relatively healthy position. There will be weaknesses in this round as a result, but those weaknesses are Sheriffs, and you certainly don't want to count Nats and Kiko out, regardless of the weapon in their hand.
Right, Kiko, of course, has been one of the highest rated players this entire stage, and I believe the last stage, and I believe kickoff. So, yeah, definitely. Someone who has taken like a duck to water in this controller role. Camo will be that first point of contact, and while his teammate has taken a bullet for him. It's not a bad trade, though. That's a rifle on the deck, and as you mentioned, it was only a Sheriff for Kiko.
Crashes with the shock dart over. I'm not sure if it's meant to hit lane. I think it is. A little bit of an tanked lineup. But I think it wouldn't hit the cam, even if it was in like above the arch or anything like that. It's a little bit off. He'll be able to see that.
Another tag.
The next one. 10 HP on Kayak. 140 in for Camo, and again, we said like Sheriffs are a weakness.
He's still going.
He's pushed all the way down middle. I mean, he hit the 140, now he's hunted his prey to the ends of the earth, even makes it out. And now look at this push coming down on short. Fnatic backs off just in time, so Crashies comes through to clear it. It's just a waste of time. There's no one there.
That's the big time. There's 40 seconds left, another tag connected. So, yeah, Camo's done an impressive job, but it is still a 3 versus 3. The main danger now, as always, with Fnatic is that clock. And they are walking into Trex, the one purchased up Phantom. He was one of the main reasons they were able to close out the last map. If he can close out this round, they're going to be off to a flyer of a start. And they were pulling out utility. They were expecting him to be at the back of the site. With the amount of time, you can understand why. But now that clock gets even more dangerous. And Trex, alone on the B site, will do the work once again.
Yeah, man, he is carrying through that momentum from the end of the last map. It hasn't gone anywhere once he's given the challenge. And you completely, I agree with you, Tom. You understand why they don't think he'll be there. The clock is running so low. If they get that kill on stairs, it's straight into plant, the round flipped, and they're back in with a huge advantage.
Also, you think once they've run into the site, they're probably on like 7 seconds, so he just needs to kill the planter. It's a risky play, but an intelligent one.
Probably most of the time, the right play is to go Boathouse and just run that clock down. But this, again, we saw the decision-making with the Gecko when he had the ult going into OT. Now we see the same thing here. Trex is, he's feeling it. He's not afraid to take a couple of risks, and they're catching Fnatic off guard. Now, leaving that attack side with next to nothing. Sheriffs, we sung their praises, but they're against a full buy, full utility. You got a Guardian, you got the Headhunter for Alpha. There's still promise, there's still hope for this round, but ultimately I think you just have to, the expectation has to be set around getting a couple of kills, doing some damage to the economy.
I mentioned if we can see the best of Trex, this team could be a world beater. There's already plenty of those on the other side, though. Kayak started off strong. Trex will be the one to respond, and Nats is playing around his own setup. There's a reason you still see him on this Cypher and not switching things up. He creates his own luck, but there have been trades across the board. The advantage has dissipated for the side of Liquid, but they do still have some heavy hitters left.
Camo for a second scared me. He was going out as the spike was being planted. Now he's got teammates with him, or at least one. It's Fnatic who has to take up that mantle. A 1 versus 2. Alfier still playing with the Headhunter. In towards main, no chance to recover a weapon, but Paddy has to first get past Chronicle. He's holding out on the angle. He's got a good read on the situation. A great shot. And a knife for info that will be avoided, but the steps, he heard them, no?
Flash.
I think he did. The deep flash, look at the diffuse. It's in a perfect position. Alpha's got to run. He's got to sprint. He might be too late, but now he's got behind the boxes. He pulled Panatek off, but even still, Paddy's able to get it done. 4-0 for Team Liquid. Expectation was damaged. Fnatic certainly got there, and it needed to be a Red Bull clutch to get it across the line.
Yeah, no, honestly, you look at how Panatek has been playing as well in the last couple of maps. He has been so clutch. He saved them in round number 2. He saved them here. Oh. I will say be careful. Those words have come back to bite people in the past. And while Fnatic, after a pause in the last map, we mentioned it every single time, they immediately responded. Now, for those of you who don't know, since we've been in this partnership stage, in fact, I think since all the way back to 2021, a best of 3 has not gone in the direction of Team Liquid. They are currently 1-up. They are currently 4-0 up on this map. And of course, the only other that we saw it at the very beginning of the pre-show, them winning in EMEA, them taking that trophy. But it's a very different looking roster to then.
That stats you saw on the screen, obviously, as you said, Tom, from the partnership era back in 2023 when we kicked things off way back in the Coliseum. And yes, the rosters have undergone many changes. Nats has always been there. Boaster has too. And Nats, although he's been on the roster, now he's the one leading it. Now he has a chance to prove that he can be the difference maker at the helm of this ship. 4-0 start, 1 map under their belt already. The chance for Trex to right the wrongs of history, 0-7 up against Fnatic. This could be where that all changes. Coming into this round, Rifles and Fnatic, you might think, Alpha, he's done an angel. He's not bought a weapon in all his era, but no. He has got the ult to work with.
For a second, he almost did.
Luckily, he still does, yeah.
We've seen with the chambers on this side of Ascent. Same for Filu as well. That attack side operator is nasty. And trying to put him into position. A lot of the time, the rest of the team will opt to try and be a distraction, but the fact is Liquid have managed to burn a lot of time off the clock already without really having to sacrifice too much. An initial smoke. A knife's been thrown out, and now they've utilized the flash as well. But other than that, they've been able to hold on to the majority of their utility. In fact, Paranoia, another smoke, still all online.
Deploying drone.
Oh, Camo! He waited out the drone. Gave a false sense of security to Chronicle. Hunter's Fury goes through. It's looking for players in main, but he's a little too far away to actually catch them.
30 seconds left.
The smoke down and a Paranoia primed and ready. A flash still online for Panatek as well. They're going to find it difficult to get value. It's Kayak. He got ahead of the Paranoia. The gate crash into sight, the opening pick, but they've still got so many players left to deal with. With Trex falling though, that could be the round in their hands. I said a flash for Panatek still, but Kayak's on a tear until he meets Camo. A 2 versus 3. An all-in play up against the tour de force, and it's Camo who comes in, forcing this back to a 2-on-2. Boaster will smoke himself off. In fact, it's the other corner. He's playing mind games with them. Camo still having that Blade Storm, though, a deadly foe. Boaster up close. He won't catch anything with Nats on the shorty, and now they've got the info. They just have to wait, and crashes will be revealed. He tries to do the same, but the bolt on backside doesn't draw Nats' eye. It's Team Liquid 5-0 in the lead. That round looked like Kayak had done enough, but he is the only player to draw blood in round number 5.
I know, he did fantastically well. He played off his teammates' utility, gets that first opener, then manages a couple more while holding on to the site, but then the retake looked even better. Nice. Camo, 9-2 right now on the board. His operator at the beginning was deadly, but and that's the funny thing, that Hunter's Fury, you're going to see that and go, oh, I missed. It didn't, but that was reactive. That was okay. Yep. We now think they're going to execute. We've seen a drone. We know there's players coming that way. And the second it hits nobody, they're immediately full sprint to the other side of the map. It gave them info. But it was the clutch that gave Liquid the round. Still a buy for Fnatic. Still an operator with the extra credits for Alpha, yeah. But they need to start picking up some rounds soon. Last time out in a victory versus Koi, they ended up with 8 over on that attack side. Even going back to match versus Paperex, they had 9. So there are still expectations on this attack side from Fnatic.
I like the idea to spam back here, but Alpha, 40 HP. That op might not be as easy to wield now. He can still take a shot to the chest, but spam or 2 and he will be out of the round.
Depends from what.
Well, yeah, okay, if it's Camo, he's not having a great time. Or if there's a Sheriff in play, but no Headhunters for them, at least. He'll play this passive role, just sitting here, watching the cross, so that if they go to rotate, he can pick them off. The Cloudburst is used to give him a free cross, as Camo now joins this site. Deep control from Kayak. Nop on the retake, never that easy to use. And remember last time, Camo had himself the Blade Storm to work with.
Man, they're just waiting. This time the cross will be a little bit more difficult. It looked like that was on, but it's not connected. Nice work from Trex, and now they're going to deny all of that utility. Hunter's Fury will not be available, but you look at the position that Crashes is in, and wow, there he is, swinging out immediately. Pico is actually going to manage the res. They thought it was bait. I can kind of understand it was risky, but the fights have just all gone in their favor. All the stands in their way as the IGL at Boaster, but he will not get a chance to spam. Diffuse already underway, and Liquid looking really comfortable in these A-site retakes.
Yeah, I mean, so many things went wrong there for Fnatic. Alfie are having the cross. To be honest, it looked like he hit that shot. But Trex stopped just on the edge of his crosshair and fires right back. The fact that they fight through the door to first of all drop pad attack.
Beautiful retake, guys.
He broke the door. They knew he's going to fire in a nade or a flash or something is coming to flush us out of these positions. So they fight forward. Crashies finds that pick. If they pushed on the tap of that res, that would have been dumb, honestly.
Yeah, it would have been
Of course
stupid.
it's a fake. But no, they actually stick it. That's so unfortunate. And from there, the crossfire ends up working out for the trades. Team Liquid, everything's going right for them right now.
It feels like there's been multiple rounds where Liquid have almost gone, you're going to expect me to do this, so I'm going to do the opposite, and it's won them the round. Kiko plays that perfectly based on just expecting Fnatic to do what they did. Oh, Camo. Again, that is a fight that Crashies was never going to win, but Alpha Year will.
Yeah, that Cloudburst
I have the spike.
should have been a little bit to the right. Gave a gap. Maybe that was the idea.
Yeah, I
Give
think
a gap and look to exploit it.
But everyone else has a stinger, so if he was facing anyone else, that gap would have been fine.
Yeah, true. I think he wanted that aggression. I doubt he hits a shot like that and then misses his Cloudburst.
One health.
Does well. 1 HP, still alive, but he won't get out of there. The Stinger easily able to take that fight. With the trades back, that's all that Liquid need at this point. We're looking at a potential 7-0 start on Ascent, the map pick of Fnatic, a map we know that they're solid on the attack side for Liquid. This couldn't be going any better. All they have to do is win out a round where Boaster has a rifle and Chronicle still has that SMG, but now they'll be down to pistols. They try to rush and force the issue, and with the weaker weapons, they still win the fights. 7-0 for Team Liquid. This is a masterclass of the defense of Ascent.
Yeah, they feel like they're ready for absolutely everything. It definitely got dicey in the middle, and that's just about surviving. Some risks being taken. And then just running in. I think that was before the ult even landed. They just went in with the pistols anyway. They just knew that they were going to lose their guns and maybe had the expectation that their opponents would think, okay, they're just going to wait. Well, Fnatic are definitely in danger. That's a second pause used going into round number 8.
I'm going to ask you a question that, honestly, Tom, if you have the answer to this,
probably not.
We need to check what's going on in that brain of yours. But maybe Captain Cow can search for it. When was the last time that Fnatic used up both pauses going into round 8 or before? Yeah, no,
I don't know why I would know that.
Because it doesn't happen. Maybe I reckon maybe like that's the kind of information maybe Sue would know. I'm gonna get a text in a second. 423 days ago on Split, like it is something ridiculous. But I don't remember seeing them struggle this much. And again, I understand it because sometimes you have these rounds where players make key mistakes And that's easy for an IGL to say, dude, don't do that again. Hey, maybe we don't make this read. And you hear the right things. But hell, not necessarily this round, but the round before, they did everything right. I don't think they made that many mistakes. Like, Alpha got spammed to 40. He made the right adjustment. They moved towards the site. They made the right adjustment to post-plant. And they got punished every step of the way. I'm not even sure what you say to correct that. It just feels like Team Liquid have got plot armor.
A chance for them to
Standing ahead.
guarantee first place in the group, get themselves an extra point, skip a stage in the playoffs. It would put them in a fantastic spot in their journey towards champions, while also likely strike fear into the hearts of many. As the last map was a showing of resilience, and right now it's a showing of dominance. Two different sides to the Liquid coin. Already, Knife going elsewhere. 3 players currently on the other side of the map, so this is one of the weakest positions that we've seen. Nat's also tagged up. In theory, should be dead to rights, but he is dancing, weaving. He's managed to dodge every pulse, and with the TP to the other side, now B ends up bolstered.
Push coming through from Camo. Could play a role in the late game, especially if Fnatic decide to go back, but I'm not sure that's really an option, especially not with Boaster going down. Now they're locked in. It's the B side taker, nothing. They go while smokes are up, but now faded towards the spawn. Kiko sitting inside his own, waiting to strike. Nice shot. There's Camo on the late play through middle, and they've left Alpha isolated. Fnatic out of pause, as we said it last map. They won 2 rounds in a row, no matter what. Come hell or high water, the coach's word was gospel. And Fnatic were always led to victory, but now 2 pauses down, 0 rounds on the board.
This felt different. I almost feel like they played a little scared in this round. Like, you have the drone go through, you have the info, you have the Hunter's Fury, and then all of the players are still stood in main. Like, a lot of the time when you see those Hunter's Fury executes, there is something behind it. There is someone moving, because sure, Nats can dodge an ult. He can't dodge an ult and a player. But they just were so far behind everything. And then, yeah, rotates coming from the shadows to the other side. Flanks already there. Like, if you're going to have those faster hits with the Hunter's Fury, I want it to be a fast hit with the Hunter's Fury.
This has been tough for Fnatic, man. There's been rounds, like we said, where it feels like they have the right answer, but maybe to the wrong problem. But in this one,
they got battered.
All over success.
But that's the other thing. I feel like Liquid have also had the right answer to everything Fnatic have been trying to do. Like, it's easy to look at Fnatic and go, yeah, they could have had a round here and there, but in those clutch scenarios, Liquid have been superb. In their reads and rotations, they've been bang on. And individually, well, there's not a player that's been a miss. And I don't feel like, if you're talking about the leadership styles, I can't imagine Nats has had to do any level of micromanagement. I feel like they've all been on the same page throughout this map thus far. And while what Fnatic are coming in with, it's not everybody buying everything. They still have credits for the next round, but they have put quite a bit into this one.
Passive trips for Team Liquid, keeping short control, punishing the movement towards the switch. Kiko onto Alpha. They are picking and choosing their fights, and Fnatic running past this spam. They've already made it through, but they're losing players bit by bit, piece by piece. The threads fraying from the loom here is Fnatic. They're not getting anything to go off of. Crashies is taking a risk, but hell, he has to. Someone has to at this point, because without it, there will be no reward. The TP from Boaster almost loses his life. He's being challenged. Crashies finds success up in heaven. Another for him. But down goes Boaster. It's Crashies alone. The plan's not for him. He'll swing out wide and take him down. Another surprise play from Liquid. And Fnatic, close as it may be, it's not good enough. 9-0 down.
Yeah, they did well from their disadvantaged position. I think Liquid's original setup caught them so many openers for free. And the fight back was decent, but again, it's what I'm talking about with players being on the same page. like right at the end. One of you could have stuck, one of you could have fought, but that's not been the Liquid way throughout this match. They tap it, they fight together, and even though Crashies manages to take one, getting both of those would be difficult. Maybe the Odin could have been a problem. There was a shot or two that didn't quite go to plan.
Thank you for showing it the respect it deserves.
But here we go. 9-0. And just look how confident they're playing. They are right up mid already. There's going to be Crashies to try and find some semblance, some balance, but there is nothing to be found. That was a quick round.
That is not the one that you want when Fnatic should be saying, okay, boys, 9-3. We bounce back into it here. This is our chance. And the two players coming in on mid, they don't even get to see Camo as he dashes quickly down mid, immediately onto Alpha. The Blade Storm helping him out for a little bit more.
What was that round? Was that like 11, 12 seconds? That was so quick.
Fastest round in VCT
It genuinely might be. The other was a pistol, so I don't know if that takes a different vibe, but that round was incredibly quick. And they're going for it again. Disrespect. They want to try and close this one out quick. A lot of damage already being done, and this is a weaker purchase. Hunter's Fury has just found the double. They are getting destroyed. This is men against boys, and Fnatic have never been on the other end of a trouncing like this. They have managed themselves a single kill. And while within, yeah, he's trying to escape off the side. I can't blame him.
Okay, this is maybe flipping back in their favor. Kayak ended up getting hit by that Hunter's Fury as well. They tagged 3 players B main, 1 outside of A. Global utility from Trex. Both of these so desperately low. This push into Kiko, low as he may be. He's got the angle, and he's not letting go of it. 11-0. We've seen comebacks from Fnatic in the past, but this is starting to feel like it's too far gone. Team Liquid hungry for top seed. This was an outrageous last 2 rounds indeed. They're getting in Fnatic's face. And 11-0 isn't 11-0. It's a strong statement, but the way these last few rounds are going, it feels like they're being outclassed.
In the first 6 or 7, we were like, oh, this could have gone this way. And now it's just like they're getting bullied. Like, this is like a different team to what we're used to seeing. And sure, Fnatic have suffered defeats on this map, but they've always been getting themselves to double digits.
Didn't break the trap.
No, it didn't. You celebrated a little bit too early.
No, but it hit. It didn't hit the roof, you know?
Great.
We
are in that bad a place.
It's 11-0, Tom.
You're celebrating.
It didn't hit the roof. That's the biggest win Fnatic have had so far. Hopefully they'll find a little more. They got ultis to work with, and you always have the option here. Crashies pops ult after Kayak goes in, Dimensional Drift, and finds someone. That could give them a leg up. And they'll all move towards this B site. I see Gate Crash going through. I think it's going to be ult active, Gate Crash in, find a player, hit them with the ult, and hopefully find an opening duel that way. It's gone the wrong way.
All we're going for is hope, and just look at the rotation. 3 players already into the spawn. As I said, Liquid have been fighting together. Camo in the corner. This is something that they have to check for. They need to clear. They can't allow him to get away with it. Kayak has done just that, but Kiko is still standing. Traded out by both. The Hunter's Fury going through, but so many low players on the other side. A pop flash in, but it's an immediate trade. Kayak and Crashies to at least give them a round. Give them a leg to stand on, and they will at least deny a 13-0 roar from the Fnatic fans as they are on the board.
Well, it's good to see smiles on the faces of Fnatic, even though they're trailing by so much. I said it, we've seen the comebacks from them before, and this could still end up 11-3, so who knows? Fnatic may have it in them, but it's going to be one hell of a battle for them to come back into this series after the break. 11-1 on Fnatic's map pick. Team Liquid, they barely managed to win out Bind, but this is a completely different face on that beast. For Fnatic, a comeback the likes of which we don't often get to see. It starts with a pistol. With how things have gone, it may end with one.
They've climbed many mountains before. I will say I don't believe in this one. Still gonna get aggressive, but they've already been spotted by the cam. It might have looked like a gap, but the fact is Nats was ready. Spam through is close. Oh, actually does a little bit of damage. Camera's just gonna go swinging though, and while Crashy's out of there in an instant. Nats already taking space, but Kayak was there. Only manages the one though. An immediate trade, but B main is where things could be interesting. Fnatic still hold that control.
Chances, top seed slipping away round by round, but this could be the start of the comeback.
It's a landslide.
It absolutely is. Slipping and sliding.
Avalanche.
That's just about evaded the eyes of Alpha Yaren. There's a trap that they don't want to cross. Moving back on main. Camo's being embedded in mid. They're working the short control. They know at this point on the side of Team Liquid that they're likely to have that vice wall that they'll look to break, but all the while waiting for Camo to have a chance to strike, and now he has, opening the space. The spike comes back. He needs this fight, but he loses it. Now Liquid don't have guaranteed space, but what they have got is a player pushed through. The thing is, the wall was tripped. They should be aware of this. It should be being watched, and Boaster's the one to catch it. There goes Nats. A 2 versus 3 now. Fnatic look set to find themselves a second. Crashy's killed by the nade, but 8 seconds as the spike's going down. A player isolated in mid will be dropped, and it's all onto Trex. He's had the clutches so far in this series. This would be a big nail in the coffin of Fnatic if he wins it.
He's had everything. This has been one of the statement matches for Trex, but he could put a cherry on top of the icing, on top of the cake, but there are 2 players up against him who desperately want themselves another round. Shock Dart out. He's going to do a little bit of chip damage, but now he's left isolated, low, with everything still to do. The first one will, however, go his way, but Boaster's trying to stick it. It's risky, and the steps are baiting him off. He's based him off completely. Playing the mind games, just looking for those final shots. Trex is a master of manipulation. What a clutch for Trex to take them to 12.
Every time he's put in this situation, man, he's outplaying Fnatic. He's the one that got them across the line on Bind with some fantastic closers to the rounds, but this one may trump them all.
What are you doing?
The 1v2, the man who's 0-7 against Fnatic, he has tasted defeat at their hands more times than he can remember. But this round, this game, this series, oh, he'll never forget this.
Oh God, someone at Vitality has just smashed a desk. It is. Looking at the way he's playing. That was masterful. Manipulating 2 of the greatest players we have in VCT, making them look foolish. And now Liquid are a single round away from taking this one, finishing it off. Already, the spike has been dropped. Still, of course, a full investment of weaponry. Oh, it's a little bit shaky, but Camel does get the job done. And again, they've left a piece behind. It is going to be attempted to be cleared, and Chronicle does that at least. But now he's set to have to do one better. A 1 versus 3 to keep them in the series.
He's being watched as well.
Ooh.
This already a night that Trex will remember, and all of Team Liquid with them. It's a cruel summer for Fnatic. 1 round on the board on their map pick. It's Team Liquid with a dominant display on Ascent. And this 2-0 in either direction, we could have imagined it, but not in this fashion.
No, that was annihilation. That was a team coming into that second map, their opponent's choice, and winning in dominant fashion. They didn't come in with a crazy comp that countered everything Fnatic did. They just did it with their own fundamental strengths and showing the depth of talent that they have within this team. they'll top the group, they'll skip a stage and get themselves ever closer to champions. And honestly, these are two of the 4 teams that we send. I'd be over the moon, because Liquid have just proven that they're not just a team that could potentially make it to events. If they play like that, they're a team that could contend.
Without a doubt, our top seed locked in from this group, Team Liquid. They've battled against the best of them, and they come out with barely a scratch on the final map. A display the likes of which we haven't seen for a long time, and at long last, Team Liquid win a best of 3 against Fnatic. A series to remember